Hey ladies and gents, welcome back to Coffee Chats with Jersey. We have Hello Kitty. This is the mug of the hour or the 30 minutes, right? We have our coffee made, we have our coffee cover, and I have it sitting on my coffee warmer, and let's get into it. You know how we do. We got to take a sip. Nothing like coffee. All right. What are we talking about today? Girl, let's talk about it. Changing careers at any age.
Wow!
All right. A lot of people in life have gone through this, are going through this. I personally have gone through it. I will share some of my transitions. And I spilled coffee on my robe. Sorry, guys. So when I was switching my coffee over, so I tried to clean it up, but it's not dry. And I had to get this content out to my sip squad. Why do people change careers at any age? So many reasons. And if you are a person that have changed careers or want to change careers, what are some of the reasons people do it? At what age? What's the most popular age that people have a career change? We're going to talk about all of that right here within 30 minutes. Let's get it. Let's go. What's the average age for a career change? All right, so let's talk about the statistics. The polls say that the average person, or maybe it's the average American, change careers at the age of 39. So for all of you out there thinking, oh my God, I'm too old, or I should know what I want to do by now in life because you're 30 or you're 25. People are making career changes at 39. And remember what I said, average age. That's like with all the totality of what they are able to capture. Think about all the people changing and they're undocumented, but that's another story, right? So anyway, average age is 39. People do it a lot older. What are some of the reasons that people actually make a career change? I know some of the top ones people will always say is freedom and money. That will make you make a career change. What I found, a lot of people make career changes when they have been with a company for a long period of time. They've gotten laid off from that company. They have gotten fired, not just laid off and you might come back. They've gotten fired. The company has closed down. End of shop. No other options here. When that happens, what is a person to do? Because it depends what you were actually doing to begin with, right? Are you able to move forward in a different, in that same field, with another company? Or sometimes, people get into managerial positions by way of of upgrading their position. Like they could come in as a cashier, just say, never went to college, but they're so dedicated. They learned every aspect of cashiering along with other responsibilities within that corporation or franchise. and they get cross-trained. So now they have people underneath them. They move into management. But because you don't have a degree, you may only be able to manage that company. You may try to move on, and the first thing they say, oh, do you have your bachelor's, or do you have an associate's, do you have your master's? No, I just have experience. Now, the good thing is, a lot of people are getting jobs off of experience, because people have found out that a piece of paper does not make you more efficient than someone that has been doing the job a long time and have been doing it efficiently, depending on what you're doing, right? So we've talked about why sometimes people make a career change. So of course, company going out of business, you get fired, you get laid off. Some other reasons, people find out, like through the pandemic, that they want their freedom. They want their time back. So many people became entrepreneurs during and after the pandemic that the job market took a total hit. I literally witnessed a Captain D's not be open for a day to 3 days. No employees. People that were in those little low-paying positions, or, some people consider that just getting by, They figure out other ways because these companies had to close down. And once people find out how to make money without a job and they can do it on their own, we have what we have today. Poor customer service, not enough people to service at all. And when they do service, the service is not great. So people wanting to be entrepreneurs, they want more freedom. They want more control of the amount of income that they make. They want to be able to go on vacation when they want. They want to be able to attend their children's functions, family reunions, things of that nature, things that a regular 9-to-5 will intervene with. People actually seek out entrepreneurship. So another thing, unexpectedly, extension of the family, like myself. Ooh, can we talk about it? Okay, some people get a Josh the Boss in the middle of their life, and it's like, what the earth? Total career change. Okay, I want a career change, but how do I do it? If you're physically or mentally capable of doing them. Of course, you're not going to be 100 years old trying out for a football team. You want to play for the NFL. We're talking about realistic things. So the thing about people telling you can do anything you put your mind to, anything you want to do. Listen, everything is within reason, and your ability and your willingness to get the training that you need, to have the financial ability to possibly go for what you're trying to go for. And mainly, is it something that if you put all of your effort in it, is it attainable for you? Because you can have two people doing the exact same thing and have total different results. How do you find out if you think you want a career change, but you're not 100% sure, but you feel like it's a passion, like something is drawing you there. Like, I just feel like this is what I should be doing, right? Let's think about it. If you have a job, because it's going to be different for everyone. If you have a job, I would say Go for it. Try to transition while you have your income off of your current situation if possible. So if you can possibly go and work in that field part-time, or if you can go to work with someone that's willing to train you, if you're able to go to a business that is operating in what you're trying to get into, and possibly set up an internship where, hey, I don't want income, I'm trying to gain experience, and I want to do it while I have the financial means to be able to learn it at my own pace, and it's like my life is not dependent on me being able to get into this field. So let's take, for example, myself. I had a life-changing event at the age of 45 years old. I was blessed with my son. I had already reared an adult child that had already completed college. Okay, 4 years of college. And I had already entered into another phase of changing the career that I desired for years. And I never went after it because I was rearing my daughter at the time. So now, fast forward, she graduates high school, college. She's off on her own. She's living a viable life. I absolutely do not have to worry about anything financially to contribute to her life for her survivorship, other than if I want to gift her something, right? So I have reared a viable and upstanding citizen in this world, and I'm done. I've tapped out, I've done my time, and voila, it's time to do it again, right? And so prior to that, I always wanted, I come from a family of truckers where they've always had, my uncle has had his trucking company before I was born, okay? There was no GPS. There were no cell phones. It was like, here's the map, go. But the truckers in the family never had financial issues. They were always the helpers because money is that good in trucking, especially back then, right? And so then I saw one of my aunts driving, and then I would see other women driving trucks. And all of a sudden, this challenge comes to me, and I'm like, I want to know how to drive one of those big trucks. I used to think it was impossible. Like, how could something that huge fit in the same lane and space as a car? And you don't hit anything, and you're making a living out of this. And my uncle said, it's just like driving a car. Not quite, but I get what he means. Attainable, right? You can do it. And yes, they do travel the same roads. So once that point in my life came, I was a realtor, and I was heavy into property management, but I still had the desire to drive trucks. I need to accomplish this. Here's your time. Go for it. I go for it in 2017. I could get deeper into how that story went, but at the end, got my CDL, got on with a company. I'm driving cross country, New York to California. At some point, I'm with a team member. We're having a time of our life. We're shopping in every state. Oh my God, my dream has come true. Even though people say I was too girly, you have nails, you're so this, you're so that. Guess what? I didn't have to change any of that. That is why I loved that career. I was able to see places I probably would have never visited or gone to. And I was able to experience things that I just wouldn't have normally done in my everyday life. I would travel for vacation and come back to where I live. I would have never thought about going to Oregon or Oklahoma. Like, what will I be doing there, right? So all those things, all the way out in Cali shopping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm living it up, and boom, I find out I am going to be blessed with a baby boy. I'm giving birth to my son. And so, how do you rear a child on a truck? Just like you didn't do the first one, you can't do it with this one. So, I had to come to another decision. Here we are, another career change. Now, I'm talking to you guys just about every day. I'm doing YouTube. I'm in my office making videos. I'm doing content creation for companies. Career change. And it just happened. I was already doing it. So that's the difference, right? I was already doing YouTube. I was actually filming when I was in the truck. I didn't take it serious as I do now, right? And I probably was doing even better because I wasn't. And a lot of people weren't even a part of YouTube at that time. So you could just create and be great. Now they have so much crap going on in this arena, is unreal. And with people that don't even know each other. But anyway, that's another topic. So here I am by way of what? Because I had a transition in life, expansion of life, and expanding my family. Okay, so that can happen, and people have to become stay-at-home wives and moms. Now that's a position, woo girl. Okay, or people have to start doing jobs they can do from home because it's very expensive to send a child to daycare that's not potty trained. And if you're not in the right career, you're just exchanging time and money for somebody to watch him, for you to get a little bit of money but give them most of it. I personally, my husband knew I wanted to be home with our child. I didn't care about you could pay for it. No, you can pay for him to go once I feel comfortable with him being out of my care, right? And I'm finally okay with that. So people go through those type of things. That was some of the reason for my career change. My first one was, I was in the medical field, so I went to college first, Fort Lauderdale College. I don't even think they're around anymore. But and that was for business. And then after that, so I wanted to make money while being in that long term, education, and I did a short degree course in medical assistant. I got hired immediately with the blood bank. So I was doing phlebotomy while I was, still obtaining other things in my life and rearing my daughter. She was a baby at the time. So I stayed in the medical field for quite some time, and then I also got into medical billing. But I also was in a situation where it was going to be more beneficial for me to be at home, to be an entrepreneur, right? So I ended up, while I was in college for my bachelor's, I decided I wanted to go into retail. I wanted my own boutique. So I opened up a boutique. The first one was for men's. When I was doing that, I realized, hey, this is a little more for my partner. I want something that is my baby, something I could get into, love, and have a passion. I fell so much in love with having a boutique. I named it after myself as well. It became a hit. It was a great, when I tell you it was a great venture, it was a great venture. and then I ended up moving to Atlanta. So now I ended up eventually phasing that company out in Florida, came here, did some um, flea market setups, and nothing just grasped me the way my own brick and mortar retail shop did. It just didn't. Tried a couple times. It just wasn't the same. So when I came here, I got my real estate license and I became a realtor. Then the market went down. And I said to some of the investors, instead of losing your property, why don't you let me rent them out? At least let the tenants pay the mortgage, and then you won't lose the property. Boom. Property management was born. I became a property manager. I was dealing with mostly private owners, and then there came a point I got married. My family was running. We had a family restaurant, which my brother actually put together. We named it after my mom. While we were running that, I ended up meeting my first husband, and he was from the Midwest. I moved there. We got married and everything, and then he knew I actually wanted to be here, so I ended up relocating. But while I was there, again, I started coming Craigslist, and listen to what I'm saying, because this may not be your story, but what I'm saying and how I transitioned and how I was able to keep my income going, you may grab some nuggets, right? I got Craigslist. I went through there. I started looking for investors. I'm brand new to this state. Never been there. Didn't know anything about it. But I knew I needed some money. And I knew I wasn't done doing real estate. Ran into some investors. Boom. I got a desk, I think, off of Craigslist. Set it up in the living room in the house. Got a phone. At that time, what was that phone called? No, it was a line. Magic Jack. Girl, got me a Magic Jack so that when I made calls to investors and tenants, they wouldn't have my direct home phone, because at that time I still had landline. We're talking, this is 2009, okay? I got it popping. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Yes, your girl doing her thing. And then I decided I wanted to move back to Atlanta. When I got back to Atlanta, of course, I'm still licensed. I'm a realtor. And then I decide I want to go drive trucks. So fast forward to 2017 in January that year, I decided to go for it. I started studying for the permit, and then I went to one school first, which was Swift. I don't recommend that unless you have some type of experience. That is a very swift school, and that you go through the school quick. And as we notice, they tear up stuff quickly, okay? Because they're trained quickly. That didn't work out. I decided to go out to Missouri. And that is where, I went to Missouri. That didn't work out. And then the school I ended up being successful at was Celadon, which they're no longer around. Got my license, got on the road, had to turn my life. So I told the story a little bit backwards, but this is how everything led up to. But look how many career changes in between there, right? And then baby comes, so now that's dead. So now where are we here? YouTube, right? So this is how quickly you can do a career change, whether it be knowledgeable or not. You're like not even realizing that you're changing or switching up on some things, because it's just like you're just in like almost like survival mode. You're just doing it and moving along with what's flowing and what's working. So For people that say you're too old, I say the only thing that you're too old to do is something you're not willing to put your all into, or you may physically be incapable of doing. You're not going to want to be 90 and say, I want to start my own moving company and I'm going to be the heavy lifter. You're going to want to think that thing through, get you some younger bucks, and I want to say bucks like, younger gentlemen. And then maybe you can be the overseer, the owner, and be the dictator. But you physically know you're not going to go far if you're trying to lift up 300, 400, 500 pounds by yourself. You get it? So, same thing. I think I want to be a doctor. Well, girl, you don't just get up and start working on people. Do you have the support of people that will say, okay, we'll help you with your bills, we'll take care of the children so you don't have to worry about daycare, and give you the time that you're going to need to study for hours on end, to do your lab hours and all this stuff that it's required of you. So you have to think about everything that it entails and just figure out your plan. Can I attain this if I have this help, that help, da 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 da? If you get fired, will you get unemployment? If I'm going to get unemployment, can I cover myself while I go to CNA school? Because that's something kind of quick you could get into within a couple of weeks to a month or two or something like that, depending if you want to be certified. If you want to go to phlebotomy school, okay, you could do that in about 3 weeks. So I'll use my income from the unemployment. If you don't get unemployment, you just get fired. They say it was your fault, you don't qualify. Have a conversation with whoever has money in the family or whoever truly cares about you. Tell them your plan and how it's going to set you up to where as though you won't need them going forward. You won't need them in the future. You'll be able to take care of yourself. You'll be able to turn that one position possibly into your own business. I'm going to have it where I'll have a few phlebotomists underneath me, and we'll do contracts where we go out to people's homes and take their blood for qualifying for insurance. Things are endless. You can make a career change at any time as long as you think reasonably, like, if I get schooling, I could do this. If I'm physically in shape, oh, guys, it's that time. I'll be back. Okay, I had to get these nostrils together. Y'all can see when I start struggling. But, yeah, you just have to think it through. Like, I feel like sometimes I wasted my time going to college to get a degree for criminal justice and realized that's not what I want to do. And that took one sitting in on you know how you go. Well, one, it kind of started when we started the portion of visiting the local jails, right? And so that was like the juvenile part of dealing with juveniles in the system and all that. And we would have to tour the jails. But what really got me is when I went to a parole session, what you would be doing as a parole officer. And while I was there, sitting in with the girl that would, I would be working under, a guy calls in. He says, and this I'm touching on is because sometimes people make a career change because they don't like the position they're in, what it stands for, and it doesn't align with their morale. So with this, I was so bothered because I don't like anybody in the system, but specifically us, because we go through more and it's very much harder for us to get out of it, and it follows us. We don't always get opportunities once we are in the system for any criminal activity. Facts. I'm sitting there, her phone rings. The gentleman is on the phone. She tells him, hey, you missed your appointment time for him to come in and check in with the PO. He says, okay. Now, mind you, the dude is actually outside in his car. She says, so he says to her, I have my children. I know I missed, but this is what happened. He couldn't make it, the job and all that. By the time he got there, the office was closed, when he was supposed to come. He says, Mrs. Such and Such, I'm willing to come in, but what I'm saying to you, I have my children with me. If I come in, are you guys going to allow me to pay my fine and go and, basically excuse it? Just come in, just come in. He was like, are you sure? Because I have my children with me. The girlfriend or mother, whatever, is not around. They're in my care. One of them was very small, still in the baby seat. The other one was like a toddler. She tells him, yes, just come in. You need to just come in. Girl. I was so ticked off. When this man walks in, he goes into the room, because you always meet with the PO in the private room. They, we do the update of what's been going on, the checklist. Did you do the okay? You did your drug. He sits down. He's talking to her like normal, the normal checklist. And then I see two POs come in, and they walk behind us. And next thing you know, they tell him, Mr. Such and Such, stand up, put your arms behind your back. You're under arrest for missing your PO appointment. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God. I'm sitting there so upset. Now, y'all know it come with the job, but this was my thing. I would have got fired, because had that been me, I would have said to him, listen, I'm going to need you to go get your children secure, drop them off, and then you need to report back. But because I absolutely you have to be arrested because of blah, 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 blah. So, and you want to go ahead and do that and come back and let's get this taken care of, because if not, I'll have to put a warrant out for your arrest. Now, I know that's the risk of the person not showing up or whatever, but y'all, I was done. First, y'all don't really pay no money. And then next, you're like ruining people's lives. He wasn't even in there for like he robbed the store or killed somebody. It wasn't even those type of offenses. So I know offense is an offense. But I said, this is not for me, because one, I'm going to get written up or probably fired for my morale. I can't do it. So I'm done. So I knew then, and then what happens, my daughter turns around and follows my footsteps, and I'm telling her, I'm like, you shouldn't go for that, and she's making way more money than she ever would make in that field. That's really for people who want to go up and through there and see themselves being a captain of something and something. They so in depth in law enforcement, or they really want to get on the forensics team, or really become a detective and get deep into it. And no, they're going to go up the ladder. And make, oh girl, I know you ain't wet this mic. And make the most money they possibly can. But yeah, no. So those are reasons that people make a transition into another career. I have a girlfriend, my best girlfriend actually. she's a year behind me, and she has decided to become an airline stewardess. And I mean, look good with it too, honey. It fits her. I feel like a lot of women over 40 make that transition. Why did my light go off? It must think I'm gone. Okay, I'm not gone. Girl, I'm still here. Lighten up. So no, you're never too old to make a career change. The type of career change your age may depend on that, but you definitely can still make a career change. You might have to tweak it, but you can make a career change. You're talking to career changer queen over here, okay? And look, I don't even know what my career is now. I'm a stay-at-home wife, mom. Um, I'm just doing content creation, and I don't know. I want to truly get back into trucking and drive for our trucking company. You know, we have our own trucking company, but when you're out of the truck for a certain amount of time, they actually want you to go back for a couple of weeks training on the road. My husband really wants me to do it because he said, even though you know how to drive, you'll be surprised of some of the things that you do not remember. And he said he would rather for me to go ahead and do a training, not with him, with a company, and then I would jump into a truck and our company. And so I am thinking to do that while Joshua is on summer vacation. Of course, that will have to align up with, between Ashley and my mom and my brother, if they will be able to help my husband with the care of Joshua, because he doesn't go to summer school, and I will have to be on the road for at least 5 to 6 weeks. 9 days they would be having me to practice my maneuvers. I'm not testing out or anything. It's just getting me reacquainted with what is required. And then you go over the road with a driver just so that they can make sure, yeah, you still have it and you're good, you're not nervous and all that. So I don't know. It's not a career change. It would be just getting back into a career that I was enjoying. But even if that's not going to happen, who knows? I love boutiques. I've started my online boutique. I am currently switching it over from one hosting site to another. So it is down at the moment because I have to transition everything over. Somehow, when they come to me, you know how that is. Or if it was you, normally you can hit a few buttons, they could switch everything over. Yours never worked like that. So I'm going to have a lot of sleepless days and nights, but it's going to be more beneficial with me. A lot of things have opened up for me on TikTok. My husband asked me, why do you keep doing YouTube when you're actually making money in your sleep off of other platforms instead of this one? But my answer was, this was one of the things I wanted to accomplish, was being monetized on YouTube. So I feel like if I walk away from it, it would be the same as me walking away from trucking. I wanted it. It was a passion. As you see, I'm doing it because I like it, Of course, I decided to start doing this talking thing when I started having issues with my voice. But because I'm passionate about it, I'm pushing through. So your limitations are you. You can, when you're making your transition career-wise, can you do it? Is it attainable, and how? That's all you need. Your why, always stick to your why. Then you need your how. And then your when. When are you going to do it? And you get those aligned up. You get your book, your phone, whatever you need to do, and you make it happen for you, because nobody else is going to do it. And like with me, even if no one comes in agreement with helping with me transitioning into that, because my thing is I want to transition back into trucking so that I can run loads for our company locally. But to be able to do that, it's an insurance thing, right? The insurance wants to know that you've been on the road within the last 6 months. So even though I have people in my family that could say, yeah, she's been driving here. I mean, I could say I've been driving here, but insurance says, well, whose insurance have you been on? So anyway, it's all good. When I'm determined about something, it gets done. If you've been following me, it gets done, right? Girl, this one's been a long one. I think we have definitely hit our 30 minutes. Let's chop it up. I thank you guys so much for your feedback. It really means a lot when people sit and watch the video and they give you feedback or give you some scenarios or share your story. It's a safe space. Here, it's no judgment. My tissue's running out. It's a no judgment zone. Everyone's been through something, so don't worry about the people that's reading your comments. They probably just don't have the courage to share their story, whereas you and I do. So there's no judgment here. No one has room for judgment. Believe me, if you knew the truth about every person, you wouldn't even be worried about anything anybody thinks about you or says and all that, because baby, they got their own problems, okay? So let's chop it up. It's the coffee chat with Jersey, right? I don't know what cup I'm going to bring next. I want to always be... Oh, I thought her little cheeks messed up, but it's not. Try to bring you guys cute robes, cute cups, and great conversation. I hope you're enjoying it. These are new nails. And I will definitely see you guys on the very next coffee chat. Let's chop it up. If you want to continue, make sure you say that down below as well. And please do me a favor and share these videos. I think it can help someone, somewhere at some point in their life. So you guys, it's been a beautiful morning, and I hope you guys be better to yourself tomorrow than you were today. And you guys know it's never goodbye. I'll see y'all later. See you tomorrow.